Number 27 on page 274. We are supposed to be writing equations of the line. 27 looks pretty similar to 25. It is got a little bit of a trick on it.
Oh no. Oh.
So it's 4, -3, and 7, -3. Alright. You guys remember how we were writing equations for the lines yesterday? What did they look like, Cameron?
Was it the equation over there, y2 equals, minus y1 over x2 over
Okay. That's how we find the slope. Yeah, y minus y over x minus x. We were writing the equation like this, and slope, intercept. But yeah, we could find the slope between 2 points by using the slope formula. Y minus y over x minus x. So y minus y in this case is -3 minus -3. What is -3 minus -3?
0.
0. What's 0 over -3?
-3.
0.
Oh.
0 divided into 3 parts is still 0. So, that's the slope. So I can put that for the m. How were we finding the b value yesterday?
plugging in on 7 over.
Okay, plugging in one of these points for x and y. So if I plug in 4, -3, 4 is the x value, and -3 is the y value. What is 0 times 4? So what's b going to be on this one? -3. Alright, so the answer is basically this thing, but instead of the b, we can put -3. Can I write this simpler?
You probably could if you said that. Because you couldn't do
Okay, the 0x doesn't really do anything, so it's just a 0. So it's just y equals -3.
Nice answer. What?
It's the answer.
If you put y equals 0x minus 3, I wouldn't count it wrong. But
It just is no money. Is this 27?
yeah.
Oh, no money. It's 37. Your music.
We have enough phones up there, probably. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9.
Ron, what's your phone?
Easton with a razor.
Easton,
Easton,
what's a Razr
your
phone?
phone.
No, Easton's phone is the
No, it's
the green.
Apple.
You see the green like
Snake.
Hey,
Roman, I don't see your phone up
Frog?
there, now that I think about it.
Yeah,
I don't see your phone over there.
dog.
Roman, where's your phone?
Yeah, and it was in.
He's trying to draw attention away from it by pointing at these.
It was in Miss Plummer's, wasn't it? I remember seeing it.
Or a
No.
card.
I see it.
no, it was in Miss Barnes and Miss Plumbers.
I see it.
Probably in his pocket.
It is.
Have you put your phone up?
No, I saw it. I saw like the little.
It's not even on. Like
Yep, I saw
Roman,
it.
that doesn't matter at all.
Kate's getting
Hey,
attention,
Roman.
man.
Buzz.
Almost like you did.
I'm
but
pretty
it
sure it
was
was
wrong,
wrong.
though.
Why?
Oh, I took a screenshot on your phone on accident.
Okay, 29.
That's me. I had to else put the sticker, so I had to. It's a razor sticker.
Alright, so we're supposed to do a line that's parallel to the given line through this point. What do we know about parallel lines? They have the same slope. Now, if your line is written in standard form like this, a couple weeks ago we learned a trick how to get the slope out of this line. Do you guys remember what it was?
Plug in things.
2 divided
Okay.
by some.
Well, one thing you can do if you forget the trick is solve for y. Like you could subtract 2x and divide by -7 and change it to slope-intercept form. And then in slope-intercept form, you know the number in front of the x is the slope. But we did learn another trick. If it's in standard form, the slope is always going to be negative a over b. Okay, so what do I mean by A and B?
The number before x and the number before
Yeah.
y.
The coefficients for x term and the coefficient for the y term. So negative A in this case would be -2,
Over -7.
and B is -7. And that simplifies, negative divided by negative is positive, 2/7. So the slope of this line is 2/7. We want a line parallel to that line, so what does that mean for us?
Parallels
Rise
going like this,
To
right?
rise 7.
We're gonna use the same slope. Because we want a line parallel to this, we want a line with the same slope as this. So if this line has a slope of 2/7, our line is gonna have a slope of 2/7. So y equals 2/7 x plus b. How do I find b?
Plug in 3, 4.
Yep, we do.
2/7 times 3 is what?
Some number.
It's easy, look.
6/7.
6/7. You guys know what 4 minus 6/7 is?
Nope.
It's not that hard. Yeah. What's 1 minus 6/7? If you eat 6/7 of a cookie, how much is left? 1/7. So this would be 3 1/7 for the b value. So the final answer, y equals 2/7 x plus 3 1/7.
Sounds like you're listening to like a jungle.
I don't know what they're listening.
Paxton just had a little solo right there.
Bro thinks he's Cardi.
It is beautiful. Me?
Cardi B. Or Cardi.
They.
Do you guys see already play basketball?
You just realized.
How'd the game go last night?
They got canceled.
It got canceled.
I thought you guys were playing
Barnesville.
a different team besides, maybe that was just 5th and 6th grade.
Fifth and sixth grade might be from the last night. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought all middle school was at Osage Hills.
No. Barnesdall had 8.
Girls sang for fifth and sixth grade.
No, they had a drought.
And the guys team was only 7. Yeah.
No, they're just scared.
Okay,
What counted a win?
31. Write the standard form equation of the graphed line. Okay, so on the graph line, that picture in the bottom right corner. Okay, we could do it a couple ways. We could write it as a slope intercept equation and then change it. Or we could find a couple points on the line and do what we did like on 25 and 27. Not sure which way I want to do it. Let's find the equation of the line in slope intercept form. So we need the slope and the y-intercept. So looking very carefully at that line, let's see, what is the slope? It looks like it's passing through 0, -3, I think, isn't it?
Yeah.
And 2, 0. So what's the rise and the run on that line?
3 halves.
Alright, 3/2. So that would go for the slope, the m. And then the b value stands for the what?
-3.
What does the b value stand for?
Y-intercept.
The y-intercept. Where is it crossing the y-axis?
-3.
-3.
Negatory 3.
Alright, but does anybody know what the problem is?
It's not It's not.
Yeah,
Oh, that's not very
Are we
nice.
gonna have this on the test?
maybe.
Oh.
I won't guarantee no. Well, standard form is the x's and the y's are over here on the left, and then the constant on the right. So like 3x minus 2y equals 7 or something like this. This is standard form. So one thing in standard form is no fractions, and the other thing is the x's and the y's are over here. So how do I get rid of the fraction? Multiply by the common denominator. In this case, there's only one denominator of 2. So if I multiply everything by 2, what happens when I multiply this term by 2?
It becomes 6. Oh, no, right.
Becomes 6 over 2, or 2's cancel out, becomes 3. So this gets a 2, this gets a 2. So it's 2y equals 3x minus 6. Then what do I need to do?
Subtract the 3x.
Bring the 3x to the left.
Bro, that was the quietest sneeze I think I've ever heard.
Who sneezed?
No, Lennox has a way to sneeze.
It's not, dude, that was like Miss Stanley sneeze.
No, dude, I hate it.
It's
She
hilarious.
literally goes, and you're like, you good? Doesn't even look like she
Yes.
did anything.
No, she goes, she does like that.
Bro.
Huh?
Sneak afterwards.
It's hilarious.
Now dad sneezes. Or we're.
Jazz sneezes are like,
Bro.
bro,
It's
my
like
dad
a bomb.
scares me when he sneezes.
It's like a nuclear reactor, bro. It's just an explosion.
My grandpa made my sister cry because he sneezed. She was like 2. It scared her.
Traumatic experience.
Your one sneezed.
Okay,
What kind of Vietnam flashbacks?
you could leave it like that. The book would probably multiply everything by -1 to turn the front. They like the front term to be positive, but we're going to keep rolling. Number 33. State the negative reciprocals. Okay, do you guys remember where we used opposite reciprocals?
Yes. Fractions.
A long time ago.
For
No, it's the perpendicular.
perpendicular line slopes are opposite reciprocals. So you're going to have to use this trick on 30. Maybe I should help you guys start 30.
We should.
No, probably not. Okay, this is 30. So what is the slope of this line?
The y-intercept.
No, that makes no sense. What is the slope?
4.
4.
4 over 1.
Negative 4 over 1.
Okay, -4 over 1.
That close.
Negative 4.
So it's -4.
Mr. Jordan,
Okay, yeah,
how do you know what's A and B on each side?
A, B. It's an alphabetical order. In standard form, A, B, alphabetical order. All right. But on this problem, we're supposed to do a perpendicular line to this one. So what's the perpendicular slope going to be? Positive 1/4. Okay. I called it the opposite reciprocal. So opposite makes it positive, reciprocal flips it. The book calls it the negative reciprocal, which is the same thing. But anyway, that's the slope you have to use on 30. That's not the answer. It's just part of the answer. So on 33, it's actually a lot easier once you get out of that section.
Wait, what number is this?
On 33, you're supposed to say what's the negative reciprocal. What's the opposite reciprocal of -2?
1/2.
Right. -2 is -2 over 1, so it becomes 1/2. So that would be like the perpendicular slope. That's why they're asking us. And then also, what's the negative reciprocal of 3/8? -8/3. So it's these two.
Can 35 be that easy?
Well, 20 through 32, those are kind of hard. But before that and after that, it's not too bad. It's kind of a lot happening in this chapter. Okay, 35. Determine whether the graphs of each pair of equations are parallel, perpendicular, or neither. Okay, does this mean we have to graph it?
No.
No. Do you know what it means, Skylar?
No.
Our 33% chance of getting this.
You're just saying that because you didn't want to graph it. No, we're not supposed to graph it. How can we tell whether, yeah,
Slopes.
we find the slopes and then we compare them. If the slopes are the same, they're parallel lines. If the slopes are opposite reciprocals, they're perpendicular lines. If they are neither, then it's neither. They're just like random intersecting lines. You guys remember what perpendicular meant, right?
Yeah.
It means they intersect at a perfect 90-degree angle.
90 degrees.
A delicious.
Okay, on 35, that top line, what is the slope? Right, it's negative a over b, so it's just negative 4/7. On the second line, what is the slope? Negative 5/9. So, are these parallel slopes?
No.
No. Are they perpendicular slopes? No. So they're just kind of a couple random lines. So it's just neither.
A couple. That's so sweet.
POV, Clayton Houston.
Yeah.
Have a standard.
Shannon and Grant.
Oh.
Neither of them are
Bro, it
in
makes
here,
her
so.
so mad. It's so funny.
Because they would make everyone mad. Let me just end a race.
Yeah, that's true.
All right.
It's though.
That's a funny image though.
Dude, every time we say it, she's
37. Find the slopes of each pair of lines and determine whether they're parallel, perpendicular, or neither. So it's kind of the same thing on 37, but
They give
it's a
us.
picture. Also, we need 3 answers. Slope, parallel, perpendicular, or whatever.
Can we just
It
find
looks
two
like
slopes?
it might be what on 37?
Parallel.
37.
Perpendicular.
Looks like it might be perpendicular, but let's get the slopes and figure out for sure. So on the positive slope line, it's going through 0, 0, and 1, 2. So what's the slope of that line?
2, 1. 2.
2 over 1 or just 2? So what the book put is M sub C equals 2.
Why?
Okay, what did the M usually stand for?
Slope.
Slope. So they're saying slope of line C is 2. You don't have to do that. I'm just saying what they did. A lot of times in math they use this little sub notation. Like, I didn't put it over here, but technically they would put like little 1s and 2s right here to show that they're different X's and Y's. But anyway. Okay, and then the slope of the negative slope line looks like it's going through 0, negative 4, and 2, negative 5. So what's the slope? Negative what?
2 and 4.
It's going like down 1 and over 2, isn't it? Great. Negative 1/2. So they put M of D? Yeah. Equals negative 1/2. Okay, so are those lines for sure perpendicular, opposite reciprocals? Yes. So we also have to write perpendicular down.
Don't you have all your... Wait, what? You had to...
That's it.
You just had to.
Yeah.
Hey, Ethan. I told my mom about us.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Number 38. It says which of the or no, I'm not doing 38.
Step in the right direction.
39. 39 says the graph of y is greater than mx plus b. So this was like, I think this was Friday's assignment, wasn't it? The greater than problems?
Yeah, I think.
Like Friday before break.
I remember.
Okay, how did we graph y is greater than?
At the top, you shade the top.
We shaded the top, right. So that's kind of what they're asking about. Is drawn by graphing y equals mx plus b with a solid or dashed line we're supposed to choose. Would this be solid or dashed?
Dash.
Dashed.
Dashes.
Comma. And shading the region above or below.
Above.
Right, y is greater than is above.
Because bigger is
Is 38 something completely different from
What if it's
38 is pretty different. Yeah, it's just like which of those would actually be solutions.
So would you
Yeah,
just
that's
put two
right.
numbers?
You plug in for X and Y and see if it works or not. I'll give you a hint. Only one of them is going to work. Okay, are we going to 41? Are we? Okay, 40 and 41 are the last two. They are graphs. So 40 is pretty straightforward, girls. It's just y is greater than negative 2x plus 6, so you can use the slope and y-intercept. Remember, you have to make it dashed line and you shade above, just like we said on 39. But on 41, it looks a little bit different. It says 5x minus 3y. So let me go to the graph paper for this. We'll stay right here. Oh no.
Whoa. That's a skinny boy.
5x minus 3y greater than or equal to 10. Alright, how could I graph that?
You have to change it to y-intercept form.
Right, change it to slope-intercept form. So I'm going to get, in other words, get y by itself over here on the left. So I'm going to subtract 5x.
Wait, when you, so like,
What?
I was thinking like, there's like a problem where like you have to like do it by all three.
Okay, you're probably thinking of the next step. So how do I get y by itself right here? Divide the negative 3 off, right?
Yeah.
So,
Okay, yeah, this is what this is about.
yeah, when you divide, you have to divide everything by.
Is it multiply when you only do the right side?
No, you don't get it.
When you multiply instead of divide? Would you just multiply?
Like if it was y over 2, you'd have to multiply everything by 2. Is that what you're saying?
Sometimes we don't do that.
I don't know what you're talking about. But multiply would be like the same rules as
Like
divide.
when you're solving an equation, if you just never mind. I get what you're
If you
saying.
multiply both sides, yeah, you do have to multiply everything. But usually there's only, you're probably thinking back to when we were doing like, there's only one thing to multiply by usually. Okay, anyways, but since we have two terms, yeah. What is negative 5 divided by negative 3?
The answer.
Positive 5/3. Negative 10 divided by 3, or 10 divided by negative 3. So that's negative 10/3. But since I'm going to have to graph that, yeah, I was going to say what did I do wrong here in a minute. 10 divided by negative 3. How many times does 3 go into 10?
3 1/3.
3 1/3. So it's negative 3 1/3. Since that's our y-intercept, we kind of need to know what it is as a mixed number. So we can find it on the graph. Okay, what did I do wrong?
The sign,
I did not flip the greater than sign. When you divide by a negative or multiply by a negative, the inequality switches. Alright. This one's a little bit tricky,
You
so
go down 3 and a third.
down 3 1/3. So where would that be? 1, 2, 3.
And then
Towards
a
the 3
turd.
more. Yeah.
Yeah, a little closer to
That's
3
a
than it
beautiful
is
third.
4.
And you go over, up.
Okay,
over
right. The slope is 5 over 3, so rise 5, run 3. Okay, you guys might get this one wrong if you're not careful. When I count up 5, going up 1 would put me like right there at negative 2 1/3. Does that make sense? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 would be like right there. And then over 3 is right there. So it's like closer to the top than it is down here.
And this is
All right, since those dots are pretty far apart, I'll just say we'll do 2 on this one. Should this line be solid or dashed?
Solid.
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 What?
We should shade the bottom.
Should we shade above or below?
Bottom.
Because the Y is less.
The Y is less than.
Shade your bottom.
Good job, Clay.